Finding places to ride in the fall in this shoulder season can be really challenging. So I thought I would try Utah BDR Section 2, and I got myself into some big trouble. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to my channel. It is really difficult to find good places to ride in the fall. Not that there aren't great places to ride, but the shoulder seasons are incredibly challenging, especially the fall. The high elevations are starting to hit freezing temperatures, and the chances of snow, like in Colorado, northern Utah, Wyoming, is really, really high. I know Colorado has already seen snow this year, and it is middle of September. The deserts, to try to go to the deserts, you're still seeing triple digits. So what I thought I would try to do was hit parts of the Utah BDR sections that are in southern Utah that are a little bit higher in elevation, not quite desert. So this weekend, I'm hitting Section 2 just to give it a try.
All right, I just got gas here in Blanding, and I have about 3 hours before the sun sets, and I'd like to try to knock out an hour of Section 2 of the Utah BDR.
Now, I hadn't really watched the weather from when I did Section 1 2 weeks ago to see what had happened. And it appears that they had had some flooding rain, some flash flooding rains that I was not aware of.
See how much water came through here. It was up and over the road. I was like 15 feet high. Wow.
And I've already ridden the first 10 miles of Section 1, and I got myself in some trouble. I went through one section that was incredibly sandy, and the sand was actually mud.
This looks like it was a mess and had to get pulled out. We're gonna go down the middle. Oh, yeah, that's really muddy. And sandy. See that awesome technique? All sitting down paddling. Haha.
And I didn't realize it at that point, but there would be other areas that were worse than that. So riding through, I could see grooves that were cut in the road from the rain washing through. And I eventually got to a washed out section of the road. And when I pulled up, I thought I had stopped where the sand was just packed down and wet, but it turns out it was actually muddy. And if there hadn't been anybody there come up, I would have been struggling for a really long time getting this bike out. Now you can see that I've pulled the luggage off, and I was starting to dig the mud out from the back wheel and starting to tug, but as I was starting to do that, 4 side-by-sides that came by, and thankfully they stopped and helped dig me out. Otherwise it would have been hours. And when this bike was sucked into the mud, there is absolutely no way I would have been able to get that bike out by myself. This thing is so incredibly heavy, and that mud was bad. Maybe if I had laid it over and spun it around, I don't know, it would have been a brutal challenge. Even taking all my luggage off, it was still heavy. I had a hard time even just pulling it backwards in the mud, which you'll see. So yeah, it took 3 of us to wrestle this out. I thought I had stopped in the mud earlier. I thought I had stopped where it was still hard pack. I should have stopped and walked. I couldn't see. My goodness, it felt incredibly heavy, even without the luggage. Now, I can lift the rear end of this bike when it is not sucked into mud pretty easily and move it around. But it was a challenge in that section. So I don't know how well this is gonna come out. I'll walk through part of it, but it kind of drops off into the bottom of this ravine, and then the other side is incredibly steep. And I know on a 500-pound bike, when you hit that mud and that rear end slides out, there's just no way of recovering. And yeah, it's not worth it because it has a sandy lip too. So maybe if I had came up right here, I could have gotten up it, but if that rear end slides out, then I'm stuck on this. So I'm by myself again now. They've left. It's not worth it to me. I'll go around. What I have decided to do is I have looped back around. I took another cut off and I'm on the trail now, but now I'm riding north to south. I'm gonna ride all the way down to the point that I couldn't complete because the road was washed out. And then I'm gonna ride it all the way back around. So what that's gonna do is it's gonna turn a 178 mile BDR section into about a 240 mile BDR section, which I don't think I'll be able to finish today. I've noticed these first sections of roads here where I'm at are pretty sandy, so speeds are not gonna be terribly high. I think it's gonna take me about 2 hours to get down to the turnaround point, which was 10 miles in. So when I get to that point, I still have 168 miles to go back, and I think it's about 50 miles, 35 miles to get down to that point. So anyway, really it's just, it doesn't matter. Just getting out and riding is really the important thing. And I could have skipped it and did the rest of the northern section of this, of section 2, but I really, I want to ride all of this. I want to complete it, and I can always come back a later time and do the other side. Since I'm already in this area, I'm not on any schedule. Nobody's looking for me. It doesn't matter. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. And I hope this gets you inspired to get out and ride. So let's take a look at what section 2 is like after some flooding rains. Okay, I am now at the spot where I had to turn around yesterday because it's super muddy. I can see some motorcycles look like they went through there and they chewed up big holes, and by myself, you know, 500-pound bike with all my gear and then me on it.
All right, there's the spot that I couldn't get up the other way, so I'm at the end.
And then after yesterday, I'm not even gonna bother. I'm gonna go all the way back. So this has been 80-mile detour to get to this point, and now I get to go back. So this section 2, which is normally a 178 mile section, is gonna be a 258 mile sections. My observation is any BDR section that is over 150 miles usually means that the roads are gonna be pretty easy, unless of course there's been weather issues that have washed stuff out.
Looks fairly hard pack. Yeah, it's no problem.
So I expect this, I already know what I've got going back for the next 57 miles. So nothing of significance, just side-by-sides out for hunting. Yeah, so get out and ride. And I will have to say that the Utah section 1 and section 2 are amazing. The diversity in the environment is amazing. It is absolutely beautiful out here. 80 miles and just a little over 3 hours. And I'm right back to where I started this morning. I camped here. I am really glad I did that loop all the way out, or the out and back to where I couldn't get through yesterday. It's amazing views. And then coming back, it's like riding a different trail because you're riding everything in a different direction. So completely worth my time and effort. Now coming back, after I got to that end, I was motoring pretty good just to knock out those 40 miles to get back here. And there's a lot of traffic on this road. I think it's elk season or deer season or something. It seems like there's a lot of hunters. So I didn't stop and do some more drone footage like I wanted to do. And I also didn't do the ride-bys in some cool areas just because of the amount of traffic. I just didn't want to have any issues there. So I would say if you have not ridden section 2 of the Utah BDR, I recommend making it on your destination list. It is awesome. The views are spectacular and the road is great. This last 5 miles or so, it got a little bit more silty, powdery. It's really tough to see in the shadows as well, but if you know how to ride, it won't surprise you. You can get through it. So anyway, I've got another 128 miles to finish this section. It's about 11:30. We'll see what we can do. I'm not gonna be too disappointed if I don't finish, but we'll keep riding. All right, just came off of the first part of section 2 where it gets to the highway to go into Monticello. So I'm gonna run in there and get gas. But I really have to say, after going over multiple passes, that entire section, I've already said I was glad I repeated and went all the way down and back, but doing the rest of this, it has to be one of the most fun and scenic sections that I have done. I know Colorado is fun, but after a while, it just feels like you're riding in the same forest over and over and over again. This feels much different than that because of the geological formations as you're going through the canyons and the high elevation going over the passes. And I think I timed this right. It looked like they had to rebuild some of the road coming through. There is no way that I can capture just how awesome this section is and the views and what it's like coming down the backside with all the switchbacks. It is fun. It is really fun. So whether you want to ride the entire Utah BDR or not, I really encourage you to do section 1 and do section 2. And then, you know, you can pop up to other places and explore different things. But these are, this area is incredible. It has been so much better than I even expected. I expected it just to be just a repeat of forest riding. And I think this time of year is also a good time too, because of the trees are changing color. So we got yellows and reds and pinks and oranges. Amazing. Nothing beats actually getting out and do the riding yourself. I'm gonna wrap this video up. I'm not gonna finish section 2 like I thought I would be able to. I have some obligations, which means if I finish section 2, I may not get home tomorrow, and I need to be home tomorrow. So anyway, I'm, like I said before, I'm really glad I went all the way back to where I couldn't get through and rode everything out and back. I think it was totally worth it. I think in total, I've already done, I don't know, over half of section 2. The rest of it probably would go pretty fast. I could probably do it in about 3 hours, but it puts me beyond where I really want to be in order to get home. If you haven't been out here, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I really highly encourage you to do that. And there's just nothing better than riding. Remember, you can always make more money, but you cannot make more time. You don't get to do things like this if you put it off. Time is not gonna wait for you, so get out and do it. Anyway, if you got to the end, I really appreciate it. If you have ridden section 2, let me know what your experience has been, what time of year you rode it, and how you rate section 2 compared to the rest of the Utah BDR. I'm curious to know. I enjoyed section 1. I've enjoyed section 2. And I've done the northern section, which I think might be section 7. I've enjoyed all those. So we'll just see what that transition from this part of the state to north looks like probably next year. So anyway, thanks for watching. Get out, do some riding, ride safe, and I will see you out there.